We'll call the highway. We'll call the highway committee meeting to order. Roll call.
Gary Mertig,
Here.
Martin Vitek here, Michael Berlin, not here yet. Rich Huber
Here.
William Metzinger.
Here. Okay, we need a motion to approve the agenda.
Also move to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Rick,
I'll second it.
second by Marty. Any questions, changes?
Mhm.
All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. September 12th, 2022 meeting minutes. Are there any questions?
I move we approve the minutes.
Motion by Marty.
I will second it.
Second by Bill. Any questions? Otherwise, all those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Public comment. Do you have anybody on? the side?
Nobody's on.
No, nobody at this point. Okay.
You have that sidebar? Hold on.
Okay, commissioner reports.
All right, employees. As many of you might know already, Amber has decided to move on to the Health and Human Services. She's taken a position, I don't know what it's called, but like managing their financial department.
Yeah, finance manager.
We're very sad to see her go. I would have liked to offer her more money to stay, but I guess it wasn't possible, so. So we are advertising for that. As of this time, we've only received one application. That application has no prior accounting experience, so I don't know that we will consider that we will. It closes on Wednesday, so if we don't have any more decent applications by then, we're gonna have to re-advertise again. Amber's gonna work part-time between here and Human Services until we get somebody on board, so hopefully not too long, so we can get them halfway trained in and doing the job.
What about the girl that's working here now as part-time?
Yeah, she's not interested. She's going to school, nursing school. She's gonna be a RN after the school year ends. So.
Okay, yeah, I can see why.
There he is. Hi, Mike.
There he is.
We're good.
Other than that, we are fully staffed on the crew right now, so hopefully we can keep it that way and move into the winter season fully staffed. Any questions on employees portion? If not, I'll move into work schedule. So we pretty much finished up our crack sealing. A and N were the last roads we did. We did some shouldering for Jingles in the last week. They had Butterworth paved. And I think we talked about that the last meeting. Somebody asked about that. That was that what you had seen at that time, that was kind of like a base course.
Okay.
They filled in the ruts and they did a finished course over the top, and it came really nice. So
Let me ask about, were you watching GG's paving from Mineral Lake the other way?
yeah,
Because there were a section just south of Mineral Lake Road where the first coat was put down.
mhm.
And I'm sorry, but there was some crappy looking blacktop for a short stretch there. It was almost like the machine ran out of blacktop, and it was a lot of gravel and not a lot of.
Well,
tar.
you
But
might have.
That's the base.
See what they're doing there is, I figure it for a ½ inch over the whole thing. And then we added them shoulders on, right? We made it wider. So they're just kind of pulling it along. And if there's a ruts or bad spots, it fills them. But
Okay.
where there's not, you're that's what you're seeing, because there's not enough asphalt for it to compact
Okay.
into a nice, so it looks
The
really
rest of
bad.
it looked okay. It was
Yeah.
just right after you turned off at Mineral Lake, heading back towards Clam Lake, there was a stretch there
Yeah.
that I thought, holy crap, what happened to the blacktop?
Yeah,
Because it-
so they're really not supposed to be putting any unless it needs it, so it's just
Okay.
kind of dragging along, so it can look pretty rough underneath.
Okay.
That first course, you gotta have make it look good, you gotta have a good layer, because the bigger rocks have to be able to compact in and come up with that smooth surface. So if it's too shallow, say you have a 3/4 rock and it's not 3/4 asphalt, that rock can't go anywhere.
Right.
It's stuck on the top, so it looks bad.
Okay, thanks.
Kind of like hitting this planning.
Yeah, yeah, I thought, what happened here?
Yeah.
And I knew it was the base, but it just,
We've been working on 13. We have a contract with the state to replace most or all of the signs on 13 from top to bottom. It just, they do it in like all the signs on Highway 13 from in the state are getting replaced this year, so.
they're much
we're-
bigger too, some
We're
of them.
doing our,
I mean, they're
some of
bigger
them are
signs
bigger,
than
yeah.
road signs and
Yeah.
bigger.
Yep. We've been working on getting our trucks ready for winter. We're getting close to that, unfortunately, again. We did get our new trucks for this year, almost 2 weeks ago, so.
Mhm.
We're doing the things we need to do on that to get that ready and then working on the rest. Switching them over as we can. Some of them we can't until we finish up. Well, shouldering and then salt sand and all that, but we use some of our spares to fill in if needed in that time frame, so. We've been doing some mowing down on N, mowing, basically brush mowing with the boom tractor. That was getting pretty grown up. I believe we'll be heading to F when that project is finished. Then just some patching and other projects to get ready for winter here.
I got a question. Are you going mow Highway 13 any this year?
We are not. We are currently over budget on our state budget, so yeah, that's if we are under, we would be doing some, but we are not. We are over this year, so. So we won't be doing any of that this year.
When you talk about F in brushing, right as you come out of the village, if you're heading out on F, that corner across, it used to be Radsack's place, that first place on that sharp corner,
Mhm.
that inside corner of the creek. If somehow that could get brushed, whether it's hand brush or because
Can,
that corner is, people drive on the wrong side of the line, either direction they come, but it's really hard to see around that corner and
sure,
I realize you can only do right away, but
yep,
if some of that alder crap could come out of just on that little short
I
stretch.
can look and see who the owner is too and talk to them if they'd mind if we.
Yeah, so it's on the creek side, and if
Mhm.
you're coming out, it'd be on the left or it'd come in, but
Okay.
it's just when you're coming into town too. People run that corner, I don't
Sure.
know why, but
I was out there the other day. Wednesday, I had to run out. Need to talk to Bruce. That bump by your house is getting bad again. We should probably.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's certainly not as bad as it used to be.
It's not good. though. And there's one or two more out there that we
Yeah.
should grind and try to patch up a bit. So
That tractor we talk about brushing, is it gonna make a difference when we get our own instead of leasing one all the time?
we have a tractor with a boom mower.
Yeah.
So the new one will not have a boom.
Oh, okay, I was just wondering which one.
It'll be
Okay.
a regular mowing tractor.
Oh, okay.
So we do have our own boom for.
But we would use our own on the county roads.
Mhm.
This highway is state money.
We'll use our new one on that.
You would?
For income.
Okay,
yeah,
they'll
for sure.
reimburse us for
Yeah.
that equipment.
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
Cause that's what we should be able to use it more on, right?
Yeah,
Instead of-
yes.
We should make, well, not
Yeah.
make money, but we should,
We'll be.
Come out even
we'll
or
be
something.
taking the income in
Yeah.
here instead of paying it out to
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah,
okay.
yep. Any other questions on work schedule? Bill?
That 10-mile stretch from Mellon south.
Mhm.
Is that completely done now?
no, that's where I got hung up this morning. I thought they were done, but they're just outside the city limits. It looks like they're gonna shoulder something right there. I thought they were
guess-
done.
I mean,
They've got
the
a-
update I received last week said painting this week.
Are they proving that?
Oh, I bet you
Oh,
they
but
are,
that's what
yeah.
that machine is,
Yeah.
because it's got a big, like,
Yeah.
lift on it on the
Mhm.
front, and they were putting something on the front, because I was sitting there forever and I thought, what the heck is going on? 'Cause I
I'm
was
sure
on
they'll
top of
have
the hill.
rumble strips that are end up, so.
Okay, last time I was down to Butternut, they still have the 45-mile-an-hour signs.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Do you-
Then we'll have.
but are they yellow? Cause if they're yellow, you don't have to.
I thought they were orange.
Orange.
Oh, then you don't have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only speed limit signs you have to pay attention are black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a cautionary.
Well, I see, and I was going like 60 plus.
Yeah.
God, I wonder if I get stopped by like, how much of
Yeah,
a
but
ticket
actually-
that's gonna be?
actually that's 13, on 77, you could do 77, but this is 13, so you gotta go all the way down.
yeah,
But I'm just saying, there's 45 mile an hour signs, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say,
Well, they still have the low shoulder signs up in there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how bad what they're gonna do is put that. Cause they had like 3-4 trucks
Mhm.
and they had dump trucks behind, which I assume they're gonna load that.
Put that little grindings into
Yeah.
them, yeah.
Okay, cause
Yeah.
when I got there, I thought, what the heck am I waiting for?
Yeah, thing said striping and the rumble strips and then punchless, so
Okay.
it's close to done.
Yeah. Good.
So we'll move into 22 construction, which we've talked quite a bit about, go ahead.
When, next month, you're gonna be, what do you call it, doing the bridges on, Brian,
Oh, spraying them?
yeah.
We actually did Thursday already,
Oh.
just they were predicting freeze up Friday morning and some nasty, so we sprayed some bridge decks on Thursday afternoon.
I haven't seen nothing up on the north end here, so.
Yeah, I don't know what they did or not. I know they,
Oh,
I would have
so
to
they're
look.
already out,
yeah, they,
okay.
and we're talking, we'll have to look at it this week. They're talking more bad weather Thursday, Friday, but
Mhm.
just depends on the timing of the rain and the freeze up, you know, if it's raining, it doesn't pay to put it on, it just washes off, so. If it's dry, you know, we will try to get some on just the bridge decks for now.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be 70 something tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then it's
Nice, yeah.
rain, snow by Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, it looks pretty nasty by the weekend, so. Any other questions on work schedule? Not 22 construction, we talked quite a bit about the 13 project. As I said, that's just about tying up, they have the rumble strips and some painting and a few touch-ups, otherwise that should be done. Our county GG paving project. I believe it's complete, I haven't been there to see it yet, I know they finished up mainline about 1 o'clock Saturday. All they would have had to do is tie in a couple roads, Conley Road and Mineral Lake. Few tie-ins, so I assume that they finished it. I'll have to get down there this afternoon to check that out, but. We will be shouldering it tomorrow and Wednesday, we should be able to get it shouldered, and then. Depending on weather, it needs painted too, but it's not looking good for Thursday, Friday for painting this week, so. Probably be next week, if we get a weather break, we'll have to, Washburn County will be striping that for us. Yeah, that project will be complete. I drove through there, it wasn't quite done. Friday night. It seemed pretty nice, it was riding nice, and I think, you know, we had talked about, we paved them 3-foot shoulders now, so it'll be, once you get it striped, you'll be able to see that a lot better, but I think it'll be really nice with that extra width,
yeah.
so.
I meant to get down over to Mellon, remember a couple years ago, we, had all this stuff going on with that one bridge that was gonna be replaced,
Mhm.
what's the status of that?
The Tyler Forks Bridge,
Cause that's.
right in Mellon, you mean?
Yeah, that's the one we had the subcommittee for.
Yeah, so that was slated to be replaced next year in 23. But with all the Highway 13 construction, that would be the only access to the main street of Mellon there at some points. So Mellon opted to opt out to 24 for that bridge. So
It's
it's
still in the queue then.
it's ready to be ready next year, but with all the Highway 13's getting tore up from each end and the bridge by the schools getting redone. Yeah, there're gonna be detour routes. There would be no access to the main downtown area of
So what
Mellon
what are
without
they
that
gonna
bridge.
do from where they stopped now? Through Mellon, how far?
Up to the golf course.
Off the
road.
golf
Yeah.
course road, yeah,
Oh, to the whole golf course road.
yeah. But the main work, of course, will be done. They're doing water and sewer right down the main, you know, of 13 of Mellon, so.
And I said that bridge by the gas station, which is going, that gas station will come out, that bridge is gonna be raised 4 feet, I was.
On
told.
on this end, the north end,
Right.
the lower end isn't really changing much, it's gonna be on an angle though,
Yeah,
so.
Well, that gas station's coming out.
The state has.
Yeah.
that, Yeah.
Yeah.
If that was contaminated, the state bought it or what, or
I
they already
assume
did that?
that they took
Yeah,
care of it.
did that.
You'll see that on your tax bill this year.
Yeah, when they closed it up, not too long after that, they went in there and dug all it out.
They dug it all out already.
What about the approach where 77 comes into 13? That's gonna be kind of steep. Isn't it?
It's gonna taper back, back in front of some of them houses. I don't know exactly how it'll look, but yeah, it shouldn't be bad.
Have they made some kind of arrangements with the railroad or?
I know they are working with the railroad and they're going to redo both of them crossings. That will be part of the project, the new crossing upgrades. I know I've seen stuff a few times lately on a public hearing. If the railroad crossing is up to standard or something, so.
Would they have to contact you if they open up that railroad? They're supposed to open it up from Byfield to Mellon.
Yeah, I don't know that they would contact me in any way.
Well, with like Highway 13 and stuff,
Yeah.
there's places that it crosses and I just wonder.
Yeah, I mean, the one is underneath the bridge and then the other one is in Mellon, so them are the only two crossings.
It'd be nice to get rid of that ski jump.
Yeah.
Well, see with that bridge coming up,
That should help though.
it'll, because it should be a.
But you still have this, the tracks are at different
Right.
levels and
Yeah.
it's. Hopefully they redo it and it's better than it is now.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah, would they have to have two tracks there or probably get away with just one? Maybe?
Well, the second one was for loading cars.
Yeah,
But I think part of that track is missing anyways. They tore it up.
yeah, it is. Mhm.
Quite a few years ago when it was heaved up, they
Well,
took a section out of
we
there.
took some of that sections out of there, that lowboy trailer caught that rail and there was a big piece of
Yeah.
rail just sticking up
Yeah.
in the air,
I
so
know, yeah.
we had to go cut that out and pave it in and. Yeah,
But when they redo those tracks. Well, I guess they're supposed to have a transfer station now, right? They're supposed to have it so you can load cars and stuff there.
yeah, I don't know what
So
else.
they probably still have to have two tracks, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this comes under construction, but it's a good question. Did you guys replace the curbing in front of the forestry building?
Yes,
Now, there's a little conversation going on here. Who paid for that?
forestry.
Why? What did the forestry have a curb
It was cut open
for the sewer,
for their sewer tie-in.
right?
So they paid, we did the curb and the sidewalk.
Cause somebody asked me about that the other day, as
Yeah.
who should have paid for that? Cause I've never heard of if a property owner did that, would the property owner?
Yeah, that would be
Okay,
their
That,
responsibility
that's
to pay
the
for.
answer I was looking
Yep.
for.
Was that the
If-
forestry department in Butternut?
Yeah,
If they,
somebody asked me and I said, I don't know what the rules are, but
Yeah.
okay, if that.
if
had
they
been a-
dig into the road to do they have to fix it back
Okay.
to
So it's-
condition it was before.
If that had been a private house,
It would.
thank you.
So that's like a sanitary district there. So they have a set of rules on who pays what.
Well, and somebody asked me and I said, I don't know what
Yeah.
the rule is, but that's,
Yeah, I mean, it's like in Mellon, they had some water leaks recently. They had to dig right in the
Yeah.
highway. The city of Mellon pays
For all that.
for all that and to put it back to asphalt on
okay,
the state highway,
Utilities pay for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
their responsibility.
good.
We
Thank
used,
you.
we used to have one in 77 that we had to do, and so like the property owner paid for all that.
Yeah,
That's the thing, people will ask questions and I said, well, I don't know, I'll try and find out. Thank you.
any other questions on any of my reports? I guess I'm done then.
6.
So. Equipment purchases. So last month we talked about the chipper. We have not found a used one yet to purchase. We are still looking. Hopefully we find one soon. Just haven't found the right machine for the right price at this time. We're hoping people are looking to sell here, before winter or whatever, so. So, yeah, in the 22 budget. Yeah, we're still waiting for that chipper. Other than that, I think we're all right.
Did you get your John Deere mower yet?
We did, yeah, very nice machine.
Used it already then, eh?
Yeah, we did one time.
One of us were supposed to break it in, you know.
You can come anytime.
After the meeting, I think
After
there's
the
some there needs to be more.
Yeah, it's actually, I run it for a couple hours just to try it out. It's pretty impressive.
Oh, nice, eh?
Nice unit.
Is that one on the commercial side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
It's
smooth.
just got the motor on,
operation.
it doesn't have a bolt.
It's just a zero turn. But a
Zero turn, yeah.
72
Zero
inch.
turn, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yep. For the 23 equipment purchases, back in June, Finance Committee authorized us to order a truck if needed for next year early. At that time, we had tried to get quotes and the equipment manufacturers had not released the 23 pricing yet. So we did recently, just the end of this last week, get quotes on trucks. I have 4 quotes. One from iState, one from UP Truck, one from Mid-States Truck, and one from Nuss Truck. And they range for UP Truck is 138, 495. Up from there, one iState was 150, 544. Mid-States was 151, and Nuss was 155, 983. UP Truck is the lowest, and they are actually the best on delivery time. The other one was December of 23, Mid-States was November of 24, can't even get a truck next year. And Nuss is December of 23. So UP Truck is where we've been buying our trucks the last few years. And they do have a build slot that they're saving for us for like a short time.
oh, okay.
So if the committee would authorize that, finance left it up to highway committee to authorize a purchase early to get that. We're not spending any money, we're just getting the order in.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm
The low one was 132, you said?
138, 495 a UP truck. I would recommend we place
in
that
the-
order.
Right on the
I make a motion to do that. Put that order in. So,
Okay, motion by Mike, is there a second?
I'll
Second by Bill. Questions?
Yeah, are we talking all this is the same model truck? We're
It's-
apples to apples we're talking about or what?
The trucks are all meet the specs that we sent out. Some of them, UP Truck is a Western Star, iState is a Western Star, Mid-States was an International, and Nuss was a Mac, but they meet our spec package that we
Okay.
put out.
But we
yeah.
usually buy one certain truck, right? You said?
Oh, yeah,
We've
that's the
been,
same one. then.
yeah, it's
Okay.
actually this new model. We've been getting 4600s,
4700, but then this is 4700.
47X, yeah. So
Okay.
it's a new model coming out, but
Oh.
it's, yeah.
Okay,
Just a question, that the 138,000, then once you get it.
That does not include the equipment
the
package.
equipment package.
We're not gonna bid that out yet. The body companies have. I don't know how, they won't really give us a solid bid right now because it's too far out. They used to do that more. But they've been getting burned a little bit on the prices going all over, so they're at this point, they will not give us a firm price on what we have, so
This August 23 delivery date,
that's the truck, the chassis.
okay, then next year's budget would have money in it for.
Yes, we have 320,000, I believe. This year our truck was almost 300. We bumped it up a little bit because we feel prices. I just grabbed that. So we have 255,000 in our equipment budget for a truck. But plus we expect to trade in one and get about 65,000. So that puts us up to 320 for a truck. So
Okay, good.
yeah,
But this truck says 138, 495.
that's the chassis. That doesn't include, when we say a truck, we're talking the chassis, and then we have to buy the box, the wing, the underbody, all the whole,
Okay,
the hydraulic package for it.
so what
This is just,
what we gotta do is place the order now.
we gotta place it now. It'll come in August. Probably in January, February, we'll bid out the package for it.
But you don't have to put anything down yet, do you?
No money until we receive it. We might, on the package, that's one thing they are changing. They're telling us they want some money down because they want to, purchase, Universal's been building most of our trucks the last few years. They've been getting the bid. But they buy a box from Henderson. They build their own underbodies now. They build their own wings now. But they buy a hydraulic package from Force America. That's, the box is probably 20,000. The hydraulic package is probably 40,000-50,000. So they want to be able to purchase them at the time of the bid, because they don't know what the price is gonna do down the road either, So they might be requiring a down payment at that time, but we're not gonna bid that out quite yet.
How long will this truck last? 10
So
years?
we put all of our trucks 10 years in service, and then we generally run them for 3 to 5 years as backups. They
Depending on the truck.
yeah, we actually have been selling some of the newer ones. If you want, they go through to 10 years, and we've been trading them off because some of the older trucks are better than them. They don't have a lot of this new all this electronics, and then all the exhaust filters and stuff that cause a lot of problems and cost a lot of money to fix. So we actually have some of our backup fleet they're pretty old trucks. They're 15 plus, and we try to keep them washed and oiled up as best we can, and keep them going, because they're cheaper to operate than some of the newer stuff. And hopefully, some of that technology, as they were getting into them exhaust filters, was new and it wasn't very good. It seems like it's getting better. They're doing a better job in getting the technology a lot better than it was at first. So hopefully it lasts longer.
You still have to put that additive in there for newer ones?
We do. You have
That's
to
kind of expensive too.
exhaust fluid, yeah. I don't know what it costs. It's
Yeah.
like doubled in price in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I know my kid was telling me you got a diesel pickup truck, just the oil change is like $300.
yeah,
$300 for the filters and
Wow.
all that stuff, yeah.
yeah.
5 gallons of diesel.
They take a lot of oil.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a motion and a second.
Mhm.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the
I,
August
Aye.
23? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
No, it could come earlier. Could be later.
Good. Well, they have a build slot open, so we should be able to get it. So
Let's hope that did include the steering wheel.
yeah.
yeah.
Terry's not doing well.
Okay. Anything else on that?
That's all I need on equipment purchases.
Okay, budget.
So I just wanted to touch base on the budget. We had sent in you guys had approved the budget back in June.
Yeah,
probably.
I think it
So-
was June.
So we've been working on it. We just sent in another copy with with some of the wage study changes, which didn't change much at all, I guess.
A little less out of.
Yeah, just a little less out of our cash reserve, but just wanted to touch base too, the wage study. We've got preliminary results. I don't think we've seen the actual final yet, hopefully soon. But I do have some concerns on the preliminary. If you want to call it, the management team looks to be getting a nice bump in wages, which would be appreciated, but our crew is in the preliminary results, like a 1.3% increase, about 33-cent increase. I don't know how that's going to go in long term for us. I feel that some of my senior employees that have been here for a while are not going to be satisfied with that, with wages that they can get out in the private sector. I'm a little concerned about retention of employees. And the problem, how I see it is so the last 2 employees we hired have been basically right out of high school, right? No experience. They're good guys, they have the potential to learn, but at this time, they don't have any experience. We do a lot of culvert work, extra work for townships. We just are in the process of getting a $125,000 contract with the DOT to do some work up on the Fish Creek Bridge on US 2. You know, if we lose these people that have experience and can do this type of work, we're looking at losing $200,000-300,000 in income every year to our department. So I just think we need to be aware of that. And when we're looking at these wages, you know, if we lose our long-term people, our people with the experience, we have to expect to lose some of them. And then we're going to expect to be able to do less work that does make us income into the future.
What percentage increase? You know, if we took your whole budget as far as employee salary, what percent does it actually come out to?
So,
5, basically 5, if we use the Carlson Detman.
yeah, 5%, 5.03.
Okay, but we were allowed 8.6.
We were talking originally about 8.6, yes.
So,
And that's, you see that on the sheet too, just so.
okay, I did look at it that close.
That's okay. I have the original
What
8.6.
I had heard from being on the executive committee is that there is a process to go through is if you dispute the salary.
Mhm.
And so there'd be like a hearing or something with the executive committee or the finance committee, I don't know which committee. And so if you were upset about somebody's salary,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, the
Um,
problem is, you know, the budget has to be approved at the November county board meeting. Can we get this all done before that time and get it out? You know, the budget has to be out for so long, you know, for a public hearing and.
well, as far as if you, I know they have step increases. If you figured that some of these employees should be bumped up like 2 steps or something.
So they have them in, first they have them in groups, you know, there's, I don't know, 22 groups maybe, something like
I
that,
feel like grades, yeah.
grades,
Mhm.
and then they have 11 steps. You know, I feel my operator should be up a grade, and then depending on their years of service, where they'd fall into the step categories, but if nothing else, if I can't get their grade moved, I need to get their step moved forward. To especially, you know, the 1.3 would probably be fine for, you know, my 2 newest employees, but some of my guys, the 15-year guys, they should be farther out in that step process.
Isn't that what you were saying?
Yeah, basically, that's
Yeah.
what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
like I say, I think they should be up 1 grade. And
And
then
2
put 'em in
grades, some of
steps.
them maybe.
Yeah, the grade, they're all the same. So, but then it's the step.
How much does on a grade, how much does that actually mean in dollars?
Well, if
Or-
you look at the one paper we give there,
Okay,
the one box says the wage study is presented by Carlson Detman, and that is, you know, preliminary.
That'd be the middle one.
So then,
Yeah.
then the
That's
last
fine.
box is where I would propose to be, and that puts us at about 8.446% for the department.
so does that do, now Amber's not gonna be here, she's had a lot more experience, so we're gonna be hiring a new person. So where does she fall, where does that new person fall, or?
Yeah,
Are we just figuring Amber's now?
we're just figuring Amber's wage in
Yeah,
there
but
for now.
Amber's not gonna be here.
Yeah, so that
Unless
depends
she
on
works
that.
2 jobs. You know, I could
Well, I
talk to
will
her,
be for a while yet.
I could talk to her husband, and her husband would probably say, that's okay.
Yeah. You probably
But,
would.
I guess the thing is, if we could make a recommendation. I would like to, as far as this wage study, we know what the wage study is. And, if we went to what your proposal is, could we make a motion to adopt your wage study proposal?
I don't know that you can make a motion to adopt it, you could.
Or
could,
the recommended to the,
Support.
recommend it to the finance committee or exec, whoever's making
Yeah,
that
I
decision
got a
down the
fundamental
road.
problem here. I think we're overstepping 2 things. One is the wage study. I have no idea whether this wage study is done or not.
Well, we were supposed to have it for the county board meeting tomorrow,
Right,
but they scratched it off.
well, and that's my question. Why are we paying them all this money if we don't have the result yet? And it's really, this discussion, you're right, should be finance. I mean, I don't care what we do as a highway committee, finance is still gonna have the ultimate say to make a recommendation to the full county board. We might make a recommendation to the full county board, but I'm thinking we might be getting ahead of ourselves on this wage study. 'Cause I thought that was the whole purpose of spending all that money.
Well, that was a question that I had asked in the finance committee. Can this be accomplished this 2023?
Right.
And they said, it's not a problem, we can do that. And, the way it appears, we're gonna be running into a time crunch.
Right,
I mean, you have I don't know how long the budget needs to be posted, the final budget. But, you know, you have to have it figured out and posted before that November meeting, so.
wait, does finance meet again?
I don't have a
You could
schedule.
ask Dan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan's on the line.
Oh, there he is, yeah.
Yeah, finance meets on the 20th, I believe it is. Yeah, the 20th.
I don't think I got there in my calendar. Hmm.
And then, and the county board will pass the budget on November 15th. By statute, you have to have an annual meeting the Tuesday after the second Monday. So
November 15th.
that's the Tuesday after the second Monday, which qualifies as our annual meeting.
Right, and Dan, that, my question goes back to this, as a committee. Are we overstepping the wage study?
Yeah, wages are really made by exec and finance. And you can make a recommendation if you want. But the
Okay.
other two committees will make the decision.
Right. So we
And
could,
that's what I said, if the committee
right,
would support a change, you know, it would have to go to finance or exec or both. But
Right.
go ahead, Bill. I'm just looking at these
I would
numbers.
like to make a motion. And bring it to or advance it to the finance committee that we approve. Matt's proposed wage study. And the reason that I would put in there, the reason that we would be losing some of the employees that have experience, and therefore we'd be losing income. So I'd like to make that motion that we recommend to the finance committee that we adopt Matt's wage proposal.
I was just at a conference last week and many counties around the state are down 30 to 50% in employees. Going in the winter, they're like, we don't know what we're gonna do. It's
Scary.
Scary.
And the thing is, we got Amber's salary in there. Amber's salary would be the exception because
Yeah, we don't
She
know
would-
where
Yeah.
that will be.
it would fall in a different.
We
timeframe.
would look at, for the new person, we would look at the wage scale on the wage study where they fit. And I know we had talked about this before at finance or wherever that. You know, it shows a starting wage, but say they have experience, we might have the opportunity to do a step between 1 and 4. For a starting wage, you know, so it could be at, let's just say $20, or it could be at $24, depending on their experience, what we offer them or negotiate with them at that time, but
So
that's just.
everybody got a question about my motion?
No,
No, that's pretty,
No,
I'll second it.
Okay. And then Amber, would you please repeat that motion? So we're all-
Recommend to adopt match changes to the wage study to bring to the finance committee.
Sounds good.
With maybe some reasons, maybe Matt could be at that meeting.
Sure.
Did you want me to include in there about the possibility of losing employees and possibly losing income?
Sure.
I mean, you said it, so I
Yeah.
just wanna make sure that I
Whatever-
didn't leave it
whatever you
out on
heard.
purpose. Okay, well, I got it on video too, so.
No, but I'm just saying, you don't wanna lose somebody with experience. And that- Yeah, and the thing is with this whole wage study. The wage study doesn't know the performance of the individual.
No,
They're kinda, just putting everything together, but. You don't wanna lose qualified people, and that was my biggest concern about the wage study is that, do they really know what? Qualifications and things that this person does.
One of the
Well,
reasons
that's the
that,
thing.
one of the reasons that that's in there is so that managers can manage.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to plug the people into where it fits in here.
We have a value on each one of our employees, and that's.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to put them in a pigeonhole here, so to speak, and it's not working. So therefore, you're making a motion or making a recommendation, and I'm ready to call for the vote, so yeah, I'm for it, absolutely.
Okay, any other questions?
No.
You heard the motion, to make a recommendation to finance with the match proposed changes. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed, motion carried.
I would just say with the exception for Amber. Because Amber's not gonna be there.
Well, but
Yeah.
I,
Right.
this motion been made, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
something, you could, no offense,
Mhm.
and I'll talk about Amber after a bit, but you could very well wind up paying more. Yeah,
Possibly.
and then we come back and say, well, how come we did that? Because I have been in hiring for school and we are bringing in people way more than people
Yeah.
that were gone.
Yeah.
And it's what you're talking about. We're losing people. We gotta find somebody. So the one person willing to come, we unfortunately pay them more. And then we say, well, why didn't we pay the past person more? It's a terrible
It
situation.
is, it's bad.
If you see that, you could reapply it.
But you don't have to leave.
yeah,
Okay, thank you.
And just, and we've got a job, right, she's been here for how long, and we hired a new person, paid this new person like $3 or $5 an hour more than what you're currently getting for all that years experience.
Yeah.
You wonder why.
What is that?
Yeah, but that's life.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I was there for 42 plus years and. The person is making more money than when I was there for 42 years, which I have no problem. I'm done. But I'm just saying, maybe she's better qualified, with the market and everything else.
It's a market, that's.
Right.
Yeah.
And we want to be competitive. We don't want to have to keep
Market
training
inflation.
people.
Let me ask this on the budget though, now, if finance were to go along with that and make the recommendation, the full county board went along with it, not knowing what other departments or anybody else is doing. Your budget, this proposed budget is an 8.6% increase,
8.4.
says 8.6 on this sheet. Is that the increase?
Well,
Um,
the first one was 8.6, this was
Yeah.
what you approved.
Okay,
Then this was a wage study, and this is a wage study with changes, and
Is
that's
it-
where it comes to 8.46 all the way on the right.
how come that looks like a negative number?
Well, I mean, it says negative because that's just the way I did the,
Oh, that was
The
just to make it
formula?
feel good, wasn't it?
yeah. Because this is a negative number, it's using this number because it's showing the difference, but
Right.
I should have probably did it the other way.
So,
Either way,
okay. That increase.
I don't think he is watching over us. I think he has come and taken his choice.
we lost our,
No.
I don't know, it always comes down.
Dan, change.
We lost our connection.
Well, Amber's working on that though, man. If the highway budget goes up 8%. Where is that increase in dollars coming from?
So basically, on this budget sheet. There was our original proposed budget back in June. Here's with the Carlson Detman. Basically, we were going to take out cash out of our reserves.
Okay,
And so with that one, we would do a little bit less, and that one would be about the same.
okay.
Yeah, but
So,
didn't the
It's about
county,
the same as original.
didn't the county budget in their thing that they're gonna raise it 8.6?
Mhm.
So that money is available already or going to be available.
Well,
isn't
I don't, that budget hasn't been finalized yet. I haven't seen a final budget proposal yet at all, I guess.
Now, if, let's say the finance committee goes ahead and approves this. And Mike's on the finance, anybody else on the finance committee here? Just Mike. If they go ahead and approve it, then are you going to post this to the employees? And, or not?
Not until the budget gets done. I'll tell you why, because if, say, finance says to the full county board, we like this. What other departments coming to the full county board through finance or through anybody else and saying, hey, we need 8% or 2% or 1%.
Yeah.
And then the total county budget starts getting looked at and you as a county board member says, oh my God, our taxes are going up. And then somebody's gonna say, well, what can we cut?
Yeah.
That's why we need, as a whole finance is gonna have to look at this amongst the other requests, because we don't know if sheriff or human services or who's coming with what.
Someone's gonna be asking.
And then Dan is gonna be coming back to the board and saying, do you guys support whatever it is? Maybe it's not that bad, maybe the other departments come good, but yeah, this is a small piece of this pie, that's what always.
Well, but let's just say in a perfect world that this is perfect. You know, but let's say one of these perfect worlds, somebody's going to dispute it. And would they come to the let's say the finance committee adopts this, Matt's proposal, and then the county board does too. Now, but there is one employee that isn't happy. There's an appeal. Would it come to the highway department to appeal first? Or
I don't know. I would suspect it goes right.
I thought it goes to
finance
the
or exec.
executive.
It would
That's
go
what
to
I-
executive.
I was thinking it was the executive,
Yeah.
but I don't know for sure.
We could ask Dan.
Executive.
We got that movie on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
we're watching
One
Halloween
second.
movies.
I gotta change my,
Well,
We'll go to executive.
it would go to executive, you said.
Okay, thank you.
okay,
If one department gets 8%, you can bet your boots that other departments are gonna do something similar.
but I mean, when all the departments did this, all the departments, every department got 8.6%
Original
to
budget.
work with, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay,
Yeah,
No,
and that's where finance job's gonna get tough, because they're gonna make a recommendation to the board, and then the board's gonna have to sit back and say, where does it fall? Because ultimately, it all comes back to the taxes. How much are we willing to raise the taxes? If we're willing to do it, then everybody could come and ask for a piece of the pie. But we don't know, maybe some departments aren't. in the
wasn't
same-
this going to be ARPA money?
Well,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can't
You
use.
got for next year.
You got nothing there. Yeah,
You got next year.
Yeah.
you got
But
$1
then-
million coming for a roof.
well, the thing is, you got a juggle here between the 8.6%
Yeah.
that we had made a recommendation and this wage study by Carl Dittman.
Right.
yeah,
So it's a juggle, and even though you got these tiers, you got these laterals out here, stuff like that. We're trying to figure out what's best for the employees, giving them the most in their pocket for retention purposes. Because we certainly don't want to lose our employees,
Well,
and that's what we're doing here, following with our Matt's recommendation.
did you see last time we had a county board meeting, how many people had left? In a month or 2 months, there was like maybe
oh, yeah.
25 people that left. You know, and I'm just saying, then you have to go ahead and re-advertise, you have to go ahead and interview them, and then you're starting over
Yeah.
from scratch. Some of these people don't have any experience. And you know, you're learning a new job, and then are they going to stick?
And
Well-
you're giving them more than the people that left.
Yeah.
Right,
And right now, no offense to anybody, but it's the job market's wide open. And nobody 30, I've said this 100 times, 30 and under, and maybe even older, don't give a rip about this retirement or benefits. And we got one of the best benefit packages in the world, but a younger employee doesn't care. Somebody says, I'll pay us $2 an hour more, they're gone.
Yeah,
Why am I back to work? Because you can't hire anybody.
what,
You're right.
what about, I was gonna ask you a question, because you're on finance, but. You know, this, probably grabbing straws, but what about this money from this, carbon credits? I mean, that's gonna be in the future, right? We have money there.
Well,
What about the drug company money that we're gonna get?
but see, the problem with the carbon credits is it's, when it happens, depending on the new company, the original proposal was it was a big chunk first and then it dwindled down to a smaller amount over the 10 years. And you gotta be careful about spending money that you're not gonna have 5 years from now, because this 8% raise, if everybody in the county comes in and gets 8%, that's forever. And then
Oh,
next
yeah,
year, the
yeah.
raise is on top of that, it's
You gotta
compound.
carry that.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
but let's say some of these employees leave. Wouldn't they fall into a different classification when they hire new employees?
you could,
Yeah, and I would think they would all, or the majority of them, you know, let's say somebody's been there for 15 years and you hire a high school kid that just graduated. You're not gonna start them at the same, you're not,
No.
hopefully you're not gonna
No.
start them at the same rate,
That's,
so you should save money.
that's the way it used to be,
yeah,
but that,
yeah.
not today.
Yeah, but the way it fell on here.
Yeah.
Then wouldn't that kick down where it wouldn't?
Yeah, but like with Amber's job, like they're saying, these guys are talking, we might end up paying that person more to get somebody. We can't get anybody.
Put a body there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, I was told by somebody, I don't know if they're qualified or not, that somebody is applying, so
Oh,
hopefully it's somebody with experience and they still got 2 days.
But what are you advertising at as far as Amber's
My-
job now,
My current rate,
your
Yeah.
current rate?
yeah.
Okay,
Just to back up a little bit, Gary, there is a way to even out that, carbon credits.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
you
I
look
mean, I've said from the beginning when that first started, that we have to be careful about, it's like the ARPA money, it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And that roof is gonna be whatever, $1 million or something, but then it's not there next year. And so we can't spend it on long-term stuff, we need to spend it on fill-ins or special, like a roof, or, but,
Well, Gary,
yes.
there's also no guarantee that we're gonna actually get the carbon credit money next year. It may not be till 24.
Right,
So, I mean, we can't use it to budget next year because it's not guaranteed.
so. Well, we have the recommendations, so. We'll
Thank you.
see what finance does.
We're not in a position like, last year, at the end of the year, we sold some property out of Madden, and it's kind of built us up.
well,
We
even
don't have land. out
that
of
piece of
Madden.
property we sold in Shanna Golden,
Yeah,
that 40, we got 100 and I don't know how many thousand,
150,000.
yeah. And we got 158,000, I think,
Yeah.
and that was like 150,000, 158,000 that we weren't even expecting, and, so. Now,
That's a wild card.
yeah, now you're on the finance committee, what do you think of this proposal? You voted for it, right?
Mhm.
You have to be,
Well, the
yeah,
thing
but
is, we got money over here in roads to cover that.
We do.
Yeah,
We can do that. Now, as for the other programs, so search department, health and human services, stuff, they don't have those kind of monies
Mm-mm.
that roads has. And roads is kind of unique in its operation, where we're trying to retain the employees for their experience. So that, these, much like what I said before. These guys have a value.
Mhm.
He's got 15 years, you can put them on a machine, they go out and they can dig
For sure.
culverts. And they're gonna make their money, they're gonna make their wage how many times over the course of a year?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just like I
Right?
told you, right now, I'm working with the DOT. I have a meeting at 11:30 for a contract to do some work on the Fish Creek Bridge. That bridge is in Bayfield County. It's $125,000 contract. They want us to do it because we have better employees in Bayfield County. We do better work, more of it. I mean, we have experience.
Is that called Amber leaving?
It does. She only sends bills out for it.
that's probably another reason they picked, it's like, oh, maybe the new one won't send a bill.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. We bring in income. We've been getting income through the Good Neighbor project. We did one last year for the feds for National Forest. It's money through the DNR. But they came to us because they know we do excellent culvert work. They wanted us to do this work. But I have about 4 people that do the bulk of this work. We
Yeah.
try to have others help them, but they are our backbone. If I lose them 4,
Yeah.
our backbone is gone, you know, I mean,
Now,
True.
if this gets passed by the finance committee and then goes to the county board, have you met with any of these people?
they don't know
They
anything
don't know
about this.
nothing about
And,
it.
and I don't want them to know.
Right,
Because
but I'm just,
until it's all hashed out,
Yeah.
until, yeah,
yeah.
because they
no.
could just
They-
say no.
No, they're waiting, they know there was a wage study, they're waiting for the results, they're expecting a decent raise out of it. You know, they're not expecting 1.38%, if they get 1.3. I believe some of them will walk out the door, I mean, they basically told me that they're waiting on that wage study, they want to see. So,
Yeah, I'm on the executive committee and I just said if this isn't hashed out by the time January 1st rolls around, that it should be retroactive till January 1st.
We should be able to make some kind of provision for that, what Bill's talking about. Regardless, we're required to adopt the budget, you know,
Right,
but we should be able to make some kind of a provision that we can make it retroactive, like Bill said. We should be able to do that somehow.
so that if we drag our feet, which
But,
we have done in
well,
the
yeah, but
past,
your budget's gonna be passed in November.
November, yeah,
Yeah.
So
maybe,
it has to be.
no, it doesn't have
Oh, I
to
always understood it had to be passed.
be. Well,
So
maybe,
for taxes.
maybe the county board people will vote against it.
It doesn't have to be passed in November. It just has to be passed in time for taxes to go out.
Right.
Okay.
What is that?
But I'm just saying, maybe there's something in the budget that I don't like and I'm gonna vote against it.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be passed at this date. And if the majority of the people,
You got a lot of people that vote against it.
right,
And it pass.
I don't know if that's ever been done.
There'll be a special election. Okay, if, on the budget though, other than that, we're good?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so the mining fee,
mining fees, so the first page that I put in the packet, it's comparing us to Price County and Bayfield County. The difference, both of them charge more fees than us. Just you guys had asked to see what some other counties are doing, so. I kind of like Price counties, they charge $50 an acre right across the board. If you look at the second page, it gives Ashland and it gives a number of pits in each category acreage wise. And what our current fee is, and then if we went to a $50 an acre fee. And I do like that. The only thing I did think about was either at the 20 or 25 mark, them prices jump a lot, so there's one pit that's actually 29 acres. Right now they pay $810, that would go to $1450. There's one pit that's 54 acres. That's at $870 and it'd go to $2700. So we could pick a number at like 20 acres or 25 acres that would go down to $40 an acre. To keep them jumps wouldn't be quite as high.
well, are those two bigger pits commercial pits?
They're all commercial.
Oh, they're all-
Considered, but I mean, them two, one is Ashland Construction, and one is a Milestone Matthew
Okay.
pit, so.
Are this the open area
Yeah, unreclaimed acres,
that they're working?
yes,
Yeah.
yep,
So that would, in order to encourage them to close the pit or close the area and reclaim it, that would kind of be an incentive to do that.
it would, yes, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine at the 50, I just thought, there could be a break point at 20 or 25 acres. If you wanted to go less, but
So what you're would like to see is the top Price County's fees.
basically we'd match their Price County's fee is $50 per acre.
But on pretty much the whole,
Right through, yeah. So that would be this page here. It would say our current fees bring in $99,195. And the new fee structure would bring in $14,550. So about, $5,000.
Why,
increase.
why would you have a 26 to 50 acre pit? Other than the fact that you don't wanna reclaim it yet.
Yeah, say, take the Ashland construction pit, that's 29 acres up to put up on Sanborn Avenue.
Yeah.
You know, they can't really reclaim it because it would get into the way of their roads and all that, so yeah. Or the High Bridge pit here, you know, they have that big snaking high wall,
Yeah.
you know, they really can't reclaim it until it's done because they're using all of that whole area.
My way of thinking though, those commercial pit, I really like what you're saying, they're all commercial, but a
Yeah.
pit that size is taking in some big bucks.
Yeah.
Yes, so this is not that big of a deal.
Buy a truckload of stuff up there.
Yeah.
When you watch the trucks come out of this one up here, day after day, year after
Yeah.
year,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that is.
I'm okay with the $50.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I would make a motion that we adopt.
So this will be a recommendation to full county board to approve the fee.
Yes, I would make that recommendation that we adopt this second page or whatever this is, Price counties or.
It just, well, it would just be
50 per acre.
$50 per acre for non-metallic.
Whatever this proposal is, that's what I would make a motion that we adopt.
I would say,
So Bill's making a motion to propose a $50 per acre. As presented, right?
Yes,
Okay, and this will go to the full
it
county.
would go full county board for
Okay.
adoption,
Is
yeah.
there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Marty. Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
It's just like our driveway, you know, we put the $25, that will be on tomorrow's meeting.
Yeah.
So, for approval for full county board. So
But this will not be,
this will have to go to November,
okay,
and we need to get it done in November, because I do my,
January 1st, this would.
well, I
take
send
effect.
them out in early December. They're due by January 31st, but I usually send it out in early December,
But it goes
the
from
permitting.
January 1st to January 1st
goes from January 31st.
to January 31st, okay.
Yep.
Okay, regional commissioner committee meeting.
So I had mentioned this last month on Wednesday, October 26th at 9:30 AM in Hayward. There's a committee commissioner meeting in DOT. And so the agenda is in the packet. Just wanted to share, they put the agenda out with, if anybody's interested in coming. As I said last time, you know, up to three could ride with me. If they didn't want to drive, you're welcome to drive separate yourself, whatever, but if anybody wanted to ride with me, I can take up to three people. I don't know, they have the Wisconsin Secretary of Transportation. I don't know if he's joining us in person or, you know, some kind of a internet meeting, Zoom meeting. I do not know that, but I see he is on there.
is this just an informational meeting and what's going on with the
It's just just
state
kind of
programs and stuff?
yeah,
I went a year or so ago and.
yeah.
Good meeting. This year, this is coming up real quick. I know I gotta work the next 4 weeks.
What time you leaving here then?
So I would probably leave at 8:30 hour to get to Hayward. Or so, yeah.
Okay. That's when?
Yeah, so if anybody wants to go.
26.
let me
I
know.
don't wanna go.
No,
I might go just to see what's about.
Sure.
yeah,
You go, Marty? Mike,
Okay,
okay.
that's fine. So
just Rich.
Yeah, I'll just drive up here
just
then.
touch base with me and
Okay.
we'll, yeah, you can hop in.
Okay.
Okay, next item for the next agenda, next meeting date, would we have a meeting in November?
I don't
We-
know that we need
Yeah.
one right
Probably
now.
December.
Yeah,
Unless something happens at the county board meeting in November,
yeah.
so we'll just figure December, what's it?
So it would be December 12th.
Okay,
I don't put it down right away.
but, yeah, I wanna, not to pick on anybody, but I'm gonna pick on Amber for a second.
Should I stop recording?
I'm sure I don't
Just kidding.
speak for myself, but I am sorry to see you leave.
Yeah,
And I think the person who will miss you the most is Matt.
I know.
Because Cause I know who runs the show. And, you know, the information that we always get and when we call or in the meetings is appreciated. So I wanna thank you. For the job you do, so,
Yeah, I'll make sure we get somebody good in here. I'm not gonna
yeah.
just ditch you or anything either, but I'm not going far. I'm just going to another department.
Well, as far as we're concerned, it's too far.
Across the country, as far as I can tell.
So, have, who's going to interview the person or persons that we going?
We haven't talked about it for sure. Me, you know, if Dan will be involved or not, that's up to him.
I would
as well.
imagine he would
He probably
interview.
would, yeah.
It'd be
Probably
nice
do.
if
You want me to
Amber,
Probably,
yeah,
yeah.
if Amber's
Yeah.
around, it'd be nice because
Right.
you can
Yeah.
get
I
a
was
feeling
fine with it.
sometimes that, okay, cause everybody's gonna have to learn, it's all new, but
Yeah.
you'll identify. Cause if I come in and I say, what's that? And I'm looking at the calculator, you kind of know, those
Yeah.
things, you know, it's,
A little ESP.
yeah.
So you could get a better feel if they really know accounting or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was planning on making sure to be available for that because exactly, I mean, I'm gonna be training them in too. And that's the other good thing is, you know, with me not leaving the county, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to show them everything. There's things that come up once a year, so I'm available anytime, you know, and.
And we need somebody with a personality.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know. So we were
I
talking
mean, cause
about.
you're dealing with the public, you're dealing with
Yeah.
us, and sometimes we can be bad as the public.
Well,
Need somebody
and
who has that-
the crew, the guys come in with a lot of questions on
Yeah.
different things for her too, so.
You have to have a lot of patience for this job.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
When are you planning on actually starting your new job?
Well, the last 2 weeks I've been actually kind of going back and forth, learning from Pete before he's done.
When is Pete done?
Well, last Friday was his last day, but he's still around for the next month, like, taking his leave and doing some work, so he'll be training me still for the next month. So like the last 2 weeks, I spent time doing both, the next 2 weeks, I'll be spending time doing both, and then I imagine I'll be doing both for the next 2 weeks. But I'm taking it 1 week at a time, but, and Terry, you know, talk to Terry and Matt, we're all on the same page, so,
but but that's Health and Human Services you're going to.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on that committee, so we'll have to charge the highway department when they call her for information.
Only if they need curb and gutter.
Yeah.
It's amazing, when people call you on, you to get these questions, and sometimes you have no idea how to answer it. You just say, hey. I'll give you a good example. Someone called me about who in the county would take care of a town putting a culvert in the town road? And I said, what? Why are you calling me? And then they explained it, and I said, zoning. Because I said, call zoning, John Wiener.
Yeah.
It's not
There you
me,
go.
because he's on zoning, but I mean, people
Oh.
call you and then you think, why is that a county thing? But it technically could be in this situation. but-
Do we have anything for the agenda for the next meeting?
No, just a thought, and something to think about as far as retainage on the guys. They have asked and I've been thinking about it. I don't know where to go with it or not, where my thoughts are for sure. So, back in the day, before Act 10, pre 2010, whenever that was, they were paid overtime. If their regular scheduled day was, say, from 7 to 3:30, they were paid overtime before 7 and after 3:30 on a daily basis. And I'm not interested in going back to that, but they're asking to go back to overtime paid after 8 hours. So now,
Or 10.
or 10 if we're on 10-hour days.
Mhm.
Right now, they don't get an overtime pay until they go over 40 hours of work time, right? Then they get overtime. They would like it to go back to a overtime after the regular scheduled hours. If they're scheduled for 8 hours, after 8, it would be overtime. If they're scheduled for 10, it would be overtime. I don't know if that's something you guys are interested in considering.
Well, let me ask this,
Um,
it's Monday and they're on the 10-hour day, so today they work 11 hours.
Yes.
Would they work 10 the next 3 days? Or would you,
Possibly, it depends on our
or
work
would you tell
schedule.
them, oh, you worked an hour extra today, take it off? some
We
other
do that,
That's
we
what you
do that,
That's what they do
we do
now.
that, we don't do it so much in the summertime because there's just enough work. But the wintertime is a better example. So they work 10 hours on Saturday. Which anytime on a weekend is overtime rate, doesn't matter their hours, so they get paid. Let's say they're on 8s, in the wintertime, so say they work 10 hours on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So now they're at 40 hours. So if it doesn't snow on Thursday and Friday, we send them home. They don't work at all.
Okay,
But so they might get paid for, the 10 hours of overtime pay for Saturday and then 30 hours of straight time pay. They're asking for, 2 hours each day on them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, over their 8-hour shift or at overtime
so
rate.
in the winter, they're working 5/8?
Yes, we work 5/8 from basically November through April.
Okay,
And usually it's middle to end of April, we go to 10s and we go to the last full week of October. And
okay,
it's basically, I like it like that. If it snows on Friday, I want them to be not scheduled off. Plus, you start losing so much daylight, it's dark for so many hours a day. It's hard to justify having them work 10-hour days when it's
Right.
dark, so.
okay, so in November,
Mhm.
if somebody's working Monday 8 hours.
Yes,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 hours of that week.
8 hours, yeah,
Okay, so on Tuesday, because of snow or something, they wind up working 10 or 12,
Yeah.
maybe.
yep, 14, 16.
Yeah.
It
They don't get
happens.
overtime for those extra.
They don't, so if they worked the 14 hours on Monday and 12 hours on Tuesday, there was a storm. They would work then if there's no snow on Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, they would go home after 40 hours. And they would get no overtime pay that week.
Where would all this extra overtime money come from? In what budget or?
Well,
How do you plan on how much overtime that they use?
What I do is I actually take an average, so I have an average now, I add every year that I've been here, so I got 10 years of averages. And I get, I think, I'm going off the top of my head, I think I got about 56,000 in overtime budgeted. And like, and so that one year it could be 20 or 30, and the next year could be 80, but it sticks pretty close to that, like, and I could show you,
But if they get an 8.6% increase, that's going to
yeah.
be higher.
it'd be higher, yeah.
But like in that budget, when I figured 8.6, I did include, you know what I mean? It was a little bit, I probably
Okay.
did bump that up.
So Monday they work, instead of 8, they wind up working 2 hours extra, so they got 10.
Yeah.
Tuesday, they wound up working 10, they've got
Mhm.
20.
Mhm.
They need 20 more hours.
They
for
need
the
20
week.
more hours, so say Wednesday was no snow, they'd work 8, so they have 28. The next the Thursday, they'd work 8,
They're short.
so then they have 36, so
Yeah.
Friday they'd work 4 hours and then go home.
Yeah.
From November to April.
Yeah. But, and what what they would like is overtime for those hours, even though at the end of the week, they'd only have 40. They
Yeah,
want overtime for
they'd
those
like the
days.
overtime hours, yeah.
Paid for it.
Okay,
I still want the opportunity to send them home after 40. That works out
Right.
well. They sometimes will complain about it a little bit, but then on the other hand, when I tell them they have to work, they complain about that too. So,
right.
Yeah, but
so,
you know, if they get paid overtime for like 14 hours. They just start dragging their feet and just say, well, okay, I can, I'll drag my feet because I'm gonna get overtime, or.
but that's a management problem. I mean, we have to watch that.
Yeah.
and
What
make
is
sure
it,
that
what
the-
does it come to you? Are you, as far as you being the highway commissioner, do you get overtime or do you get a straight 40 or what? Or-
I'm salary. so-
Salary, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it don't make any difference how many hours
No,
you work.
No, and same with the patrol superintendent, he's
But
salary.
then on Monday, if they're working their 8 hours and who makes the decision that they need the 2 extra, or 1 hour or 2 extra hours?
It's us, yeah, I mean, we tell them, you know, if it's snowing, we want you on the road until 8 or 9 o'clock tonight.
Okay,
You know, if it's not snowing, no, you're home after 8 hours.
okay,
I
so
mean,
we're asking them to do it.
yes,
Okay, so we would have to figure out potentially what that cost would be.
and the bulk of that cost would go to the state, just because
State highway.
the state highways take way more care than the county highways, right? We use 100% salt on them generally. That's where all the time is. The county highways is a lot less time in the winter time than the state highways.
Are we reimbursed anything from the state by them working overtime?
We're 100% cost.
So what, it wouldn't cost us anything then, would it?
Well, for
On
the
them,
state,
the state, it would cost us more on the county guys, because they would have more overtime. But it would be fairly minimal. It wouldn't add up to that much money, I don't
Yeah.
think.
I mean,
So-
at the most, I would say 60-40%, 60% state, 40% county. It's actually 60-30-10. So it's kind of how it ends up being broke down in general, when we break down our costs, like even the materials used and stuff.
so
It kind of does, so I would say like of the 50, like, let's say the 50,000 was all for winter maintenance. 60% of that is being charged to the state. Mhm.
and then you said 10, is that to the towns?
Yeah, just towns and other things. you
Yeah,
know.
So if you're,
I mean, so we have 10 plow routes, 5 state routes, 4 county routes in town of Jingles. Jingles is partially a county route too, but the bulk of it is the town, you know, it's
Right.
just county A, so it's,
Would the
it's very
town of
little.
Jingles pay more?
yes.
They pay the overtime too.
Yeah, they would pay the overtime.
So it
would pay
really
the-
would just be
They,
the
they all
county.
pay on whatever our cost is, we get reimbursed for that. 100%.
So we should put, I would make a motion that we, or I don't.
You
mean-
can't, no.
You can.
Not a motion, but I'm
This would
just
be
saying
just for a
that,
next,
that we put it on the
meeting
agenda
agenda.
for the next meeting. That's what my motion was gonna be.
yeah, and
Okay,
then we
I'll make
should,
a note.
because if this gets to the full county finance or full county board, we want to explain the 60-40-10 or 60-30-10 or
But
what
we might,
50.
we
what-
might
Yeah,
not-
and I could get some more numbers for you,
yeah, but
but
we might not be in favor of it. How do we know?
I think it would only have to go to exec though. This would, if I,
probably.
I mean, I believe this would only need to go to exec
But
to
if-
get final
if-
approval.
If the cost is 50,000 and 40% the state would pay and 10% the town would pay, now you're down to what would it really cost the county taxpayers?
Yeah, I mean, we're already paying overtime on the weekends and holidays, so it's just the Monday through Friday time. I don't know if we could break that out of the computer somehow.
Yeah,
But during the summer, that wouldn't apply then,
Well,
or would it?
I mean, it would, but generally in the summer, we work very little overtime.
Mhm.
It's basically storm,
I was gonna say, like a bad storm or something.
bad storm we do,
Yeah.
but on a general basis, I mean, we had some overtime this last week because we're hauling asphalt. Other than that, I mean, if somebody has to go cut a tree off or pick something off the road, they come in, but it's so
it's very
minimal.
minimal. I
Yeah.
would say this summer, there really wasn't any, I'm not gonna wood because something might happen yet, but
Yeah,
the summer was very little, for that. And I could see.
if we
where
get
we're
a
at.
2016 flood, you know,
Yeah.
it don't
All
really
kinds
matter
of
because
them.
they're working way over 40s anyway, so
Yeah,
that
Does,
wouldn't be any different really.
does the highway department have? Like, someone that would represent the employees?
No,
Okay, so. Like there would, like some of the big companies have like a steward or something that.
Well, they have a union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
They
just saying-
had the union.
I'm just wondering if there was anybody that, so that the employees would be represented.
They had a voice in it, yeah.
Yeah,
that-
rather
that'd be
than,
basically me, I mean.
okay, well, it's nice to know that,
Yeah.
but I think,
Ted got rid of
Be
all
careful
that
where
stuff.
you're going with that. Scott
Yeah.
Walker might show up at the door.
yeah, but I'm just saying, I would say we should put that on the agenda
Okay. we can do that.
and, I don't know, is there anything else that we need to
No.
put on
I
there?
like to just, maybe I'm looking at this wrong. You're saying that somebody worked 10 hours, 2 hours of that would be overtime.
Mhm.
So if they worked the rest of the week and they had 40 hours, and those 2 hours would still be overtime.
so then
Yes,
it'd have
Okay.
38
Okay.
straight time and
Yeah.
2 hours of.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just, I just want.
so it would cost us,
It's a time and a half. for overtime,
Basically,
Right?
it cost us an extra $4 that week. Or,
Yeah,
you know,
that's no
I
big,
mean,
yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
minimal.
that's.
Yeah.
okay.
If
But
they
if-
still go home, they're just getting that half. pretty
Yeah.
much.
It's a time and a half
Mhm.
overtime.
Yeah.
And then on holiday, it would be double time.
Holiday, they get their holiday pay, 8 hours of holiday pay. And then whatever they work
Premium-
is,
And then the premium. pays
whatever
what
they
it's
work
called,
is
but-
that time and a half.
Which
Good.
it seems like it always seems to snow on a holiday.
Yeah.
Especially Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
although last year we got lucky. Last year was a good year. So I
So
put
do
the
we,
in.
do we make more money if we have a lot of snow and ice? Do we make more money, or is it better for us not to, if we had a real mild winter where we had, let's say, very little snow? How are we?
So-
What are we figuring?
So
Are
we basically, we have a contract with the state for X amount of dollars, basically you could say $1 million. If it snows, we spend that in the wintertime. If it doesn't, we do more work in the summer, like this brushing and stuff that you're talking about. So last winter, we worked quite a bit. It wasn't just, it was a terrible winter, but it drug on so long.
Yeah. long
So it
run.
costs more for winter. The only benefit for us as a county is we get more of our reimbursements on our truck and equipment. And, less for labor, so. It all figures out,
It works out.
yeah.
Like
we
the town
spend
of
the money.
Jingles would maybe have more because we don't have a set contract. So we
And
maybe
actually,
get a little bit more.
this year, we spent enough more through the winter time that they added an extra, what was it, $100 and some $1,000 onto what we could spend during the
Our
summer,
army
so it
contract,
does
yeah.
help.
Mhm.
If you spend enough, they do give us some more money. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else? Otherwise, we need a motion to adjourn.
I don't have anything else, agenda
Mhm.
items.
Well, I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Artie seconds it.
Mine second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, too bad if you oppose it. It's not debatable.